Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where today we're back with the part 2 of the oxygen guide. Now, let's just get straight into it. There's nothing to talk about. So basically, this is the part 2. I did say I was going to make a part 2, and here I am. And don't worry, my upload schedule is back, so you'll be expecting new videos at either Saturday, Sunday per week. So yay! Anyways, since I've covered most of the oxygen stuff in the part 1, I'll just be covering the finer details that I did not mention in the space station. Now, this is not my map. This is someone else's map, but I just made it better. So, no copyright here. And also, we're in space. But yeah, we're still living because there's oxygen here. So, oxygen is quite important in space, and this is an example of how it would be done. Now, as you can see, I have a giant tree in my space station. Don't judge. And well, I may have contradicted myself just a little bit, because I did say in part 1 the farms are a lot better. Just put some farming stuff out there in space and then connect it to your space station, which is true. The farms are a lot better than these trees. But the thing is, if you like aesthetics, having a giant farm in the middle of space connected to your space station by only wires is not exactly the most realistic, and is not aesthetically pleasing. So trees are the next best option. Now, of course, with trees, since leaves are not sealable, you will have to cover the tree up. But as you can see, just running a whole bunch of oxygen collectors in this tree, and wha-bam, you got some oxygen. Very nice. Just connect them up to sealers. Don't mind the infinite battery. This is totally not a cheated space station. It is built in survival. Don't question it. But as you can see, the ambient thermal controllers are also here. Now, I did explain what the ambient thermal controller does, but you haven't seen it in action. So, if I take off my spacesuit and my oxygen gear, well, as you can see, I'm not taking any damage. And that's what the ambient thermal controller does. So basically, all it does is shield you from radiation and the other nasty stuff from space. And it's just all of the thermal stuff, and the radiation. It prevents you from taking damage from those. Very cool. You don't need to wear a spacesuit while wearing these. Now I can even take off my thermal gear. As you can see, I'm not taking any damage. That's what it does. It prevents you from taking damage if you take off your spacesuit, thermal padding, and your oxygen gear. Very useful tool. But however, if you do not have an ambient thermal controller, I would highly not recommend taking off your spacesuit in space, because that would basically be your one-way trip back to Earth. Family-friendly content here. Yay! I'm not saying the D word here. Anyways, so just put it back on. Okay, so as you can see, I have some oxygen gear. Oh yeah, I didn't show you the recipe. Here, 2 redstone dust, 1 oxygen vent, 4 compressed bonds, 1 compressed steel, and 1 basic wafer. Not the most easy crafting recipe, but it is highly recommended to get though. Anyway, with the oxygen gear, so once you go into survival mode, which is most of you, you have a little button right next to your inventory. You click that, and then you get presented with a screen that looks very weird. So what it does is that this is your armor section, obviously. This is your thermal padding section, and this is all of your space gear. And also they have images, so you should know where it goes where. Anyway, this is just the oxygen, guys, so I'll be covering the oxygen part only. Oxygen mask. 8 glass panes and 1 iron helmet. It allows you to breathe with the oxygen tanks. Oxygen gear is the same thing. It's another necessary part of your oxygen gear. It's 5 fluid pipes and 1 oxygen concentrator, which is just 4 compressed steel, 3 compressed tin, 1 tin canister, and 1 oxygen vent. And also the oxygen tanks. Now you do have a lot of oxygen tanks here. You have a lot. You simply have a lot. So I would highly recommend downloading the Extra Planets mod. Now if you haven't known about Galacticraft, there's a additional part that you can add to Galacticraft, which is called the Extra Planets mod. And this adds a hell bunch of just say a lot of stuff. It's a really quite unique mod, great addition to Galacticraft, let's be real here. So yeah, you can definitely get these extremely heavy oxygen tanks and extra planets, and then you will never run out of oxygen even if your oxygen sealers run out. As you can see, this is a pretty end-game space station, so if you're just starting out, you would definitely have the oxygen distributors, which is a lot cheaper to make. Now, if you're wondering how these sealers, why there's a check pending and there's a status called sealed, well, for these sealers to work, they need to have a sealed space. And a good way to check if a block is sealable and the room is sealed is that if you can see through a block and it's not glass, that means it's not a sealable block. And also other non-sealable blocks include sponge and leaves. And you can also look it on the wiki. Anyways, if you can look through the block and it's not glass, there's a good chance that it's not sealable. So make sure to cover every single part of your space station or base. And also, if you're wondering if the wires are sealable, you know, like the fluid pipes, that's not the fluid pipe. Fluid pipes, no, these are not sealable. And that's why the solution is to get the sealable fluid pipes. Now, as you can see, these are the sealable fluid pipes. And this is how they craft it. 2 tin wall blocks and 1 fluid pipe. That'll be, oh, it actually breaks pretty easily. Oh, cool. Anyways, so yeah, this is just a block, and it works the exact same as the fluid pipes, but it's just uglier. So if you're wondering, how do I seal my space station or my base in Mars if I only have these fluid pipes and wires? Well, there's a sealable option for those, so don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Oh god. And another thing, if you're wondering, how do I get into space but the doors are not sealable? Well, the simple solution is just to get these airlocks, and these airlocks are absolutely incredible. So basically, the doors, but they can seal. Oh, alright, very cool. Tutorial done. No, I'm just kidding. So, what you can do with these airlocks is, well, basically, they're sealable doors. And that's all you need to know. They require airlock blocks. It would be better if I go into creative mode. Alright, so you need the airlock frames, and then you need to put it in a shape like this. Watch carefully because this is very hard. And you would then need a airlock controller, and then it will make a airlock. And there's some settings in the airlock, so you can customize it to whatever you want. So basically, yes. And no, you cannot make it like this. So some of you nether porter guys may think like I can cheap out on some blocks, but no, you cannot. Wait, you can? Wait, no, I'm getting outsmarted. I swear it didn't work before. What? Did they change it with the update? Oh my god, I'm getting bamboozled by my own facts. This is annoying. Anyway, so those are the finer details of oxygen. That's all you need to know. Obviously, this is not really the most guidey thing ever, but it's just the finer details. Not really much you need to learn other than the oxygen modules, and which was covered in part 1. And the ways to deal with oxygen. And now another fun fact, you can put oxygen, and there's also liquid oxygen. Yes, don't question it. There's liquid oxygen. Is there? I can't find it. Wait, no, it's not in there. No oxygen. Well, there is liquid oxygen, but you can only put it in the canister, but fluid. So you can put these in a fluid tank. You can put oxygen in a fluid tank. As you can see, that's oxygen. It's very clear compared to water. So if you do have a machine that generates oxygen as a byproduct, you can always use these fluid tanks to store your oxygen. Oxygen is very important, so would highly recommend. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2. Make sure to give it a like, and if you really liked it, then subscribe to my channel for more dumb mod tutorials. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the video. Goodbye.